Welcome back to Podium Esports for the second half of today's action for the Misfit Dirt Tour. Today, it's the wingless portion of the card, the Silvia Racing Shootout, as we see which drivers can figure out how they handle the micro sprint without the wings this time. Justin Prince alongside Jake Reeves, Ryan Bauer, our producer, as we get set to go racing from iRacing's virtual Chili Bowl here in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Jake, today we've already seen with the wings how dominant some of the drivers can be with the experience. Now with the wings taken off, it's going to be a little bit more challenging with this car just being a couple weeks in on its time on the service.
Absolutely, Justin. I mean, this right here, this is some redneck stuff right here, obviously. Getting out here on the dirt, about, 2/10 of a mile, honestly. I mean, this right here, this is the Chili Bowl. I mean, there you see it right there, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Beautiful, beautiful facility. This is where all the big-time sprint car drivers want to try to get a win at here at the Chili Bowl. There you see some fantastic, awesome graphics out of this right here. I'm telling you, I'm pumped up to see this. But as tight as this track is with these guys out here, we may end up seeing some guys try to dive it in, try to pull some slide jobs. It's going to be a fun race right here.
Now let's take a look at the format. Remember, we've seen earlier today, subject to change when it comes to the entry time. There are 11 drivers entered today, so expect us to have a couple heats once again. Drop the LCQs for that. One thing that doesn't change, $40 for the race winner. And we've seen Bradley Cox already become $40 richer, a multiple-time fourth-place runner in the Tulsa Shootout in this type of car. He's amongst those returning to try and add to that dollar amount here in the wingless portion of the card.
Absolutely. That $40 right there, that is straight up bear money right there for any one of these guys right here. And I mean, that's going to be the big thing about this right here, Justin. $40 to the winner. Second place, third place, fourth place, they don't get nothing. And this is all about trying to get it out there, get the win, get you $40 in your bank account, and also be able to thank out all those sponsors to be able to get you to that point and get you up there to the front. It's going to be a dash right here, Justin. It's going to be a blast to sit here and see every bit of this.
It's worth noting that your race winner, according to reports, is 13. So that's going to be a very different kind of beer, the root beer kind. Deacon Smith setting the best time of the qualifying for the heat grid, by the way. Then it's Jake Grout, Alex Rupert, Grant Brown, Waylon Robinson, your top 5. Kyle Adams, 6. Stefane and Calbro round out your drivers in the heat. Your drivers directly to the feature. Let's start up at the front. Jake Silvia, Bradley Cox, Tyler Miller. Those drivers setting 10.5 second lap times. The follow-up compared to earlier already about half a second compared to the top times from qualifying with the wings. With that being considered here, 8 laps up the board, just 1 heat. Your keys to be able to have a successful heat race with the racing about 2 minutes to get the job done.
Honestly, it's survive, really. I mean, that's the main key, honestly, Justin, is just try to be able to survive and not get caught up in anybody else's mess. And the big thing that you really don't want to do, especially right here with these open wheel wings, or wingless sprint cars rather, you don't want to drive it up too high. I mean, obviously, you want to try to get that high side run all the way up there where the cushion is. You end up jumping that cushion, you end up getting into the fence. You're going to end up going all the way to the back because these tires, they're going to get right up in the wall. Everybody's going to be sliding by you. So that's one thing right there. That's the 2 keys, honestly, is survive and don't jump the cushion and get up into the wall.
Glad to have you with us once more for the second half of today's coverage for the Misfit Dirt Tour. Silvia Racing Wingless Shootout action underway from the Chili Bowl. Deacon Smith leading the field. Rupert already battling inside. He's known for driving in these cars, but he's already on the berm and dead last.
Rupert almost end up losing it right there, but everybody keeps it clean and keeps it green. Deacon Smith is trying to check out right behind him. Jake Grout trying to see if he can run him down. Grant Brown right behind him. How about Waylon Robinson? Not too bad of a run for him up there in that 4th spot with Bradley Stefane running in the top 5, but Grout is trying to run down Deacon Smith.
Already quickly to 6 to go, coming up 5 laps to go. Already a lot of interesting lines. Before with the wings, we've seen the cushion be more prevalent. These drivers with the wingless variety seem to prefer to run near the berm, if not the middle of the racetrack.
Oh, and here we go, crowd. He is right up on Deacon Smith. He's on the inside, battle for the lead with 4 laps to go. Here comes Crowd. He's able to get the run. He's going to pull the slider on Deacon Smith. Jake Crowd has the lead, but Deacon Smith, who hit the berm, now he's going to go back to the bottom, side by side. 3 laps to go. They door bang just a little bit, maybe tire bang. Deacon Smith gets up into the concrete barrier on the inside wall.
At least a couple others also spun. That's Stefan and Adams with contact. Couple laps to go. Jake Grout just needs to survive a couple more circuits. Final time around for Jake Grout. What a run for the 49. Able to survive the tire bang and able to take the checker flag. He'll start up at the front for the feature in a couple minutes. Grant Brownway with Robinson, Deegan Smith, Alex Rupert, and Dylan Calbro amongst those in the top 6 and on the lead lap. From that incident you see to the side of the road, Kyle Adams and Bradley Stefan finished a lap down apiece, and already it's warm-up time. And a lot of these drivers about to get a good feel on how this pack is going to race today, with how much tire-to-tire contact we've seen, and how simply one bit of tire contact might be enough to send you in the concrete barrier, just like we've seen in the battle for the race lead. This could be a tough one for some.
Absolutely, I mean, it could. I mean, usually I'm used to saying door banging. Usually, like I say on the door banging download on Spotify, my podcast that I record every single week. But that's a new one right there, Justin. Tire banging. I mean, we ain't never come up with that one. We end up having to come up with a segment on that one for the show. But, I mean, that's going to be really, really key. That's another key that I wasn't even really thinking of. Obviously, you want to be able to survive. You don't want to jump the cushion, get in the wall, and you got to be very careful about the tire banging because, I mean, as tight as this course is, like we said, 2/10 of a mile, these guys, obviously, they're going to start rubbing each other. They're going to get into one another as tight as this track is. So eventually, some contact is going to be made. Eventually, front bumper, back bumper, however you want to look at it, even the tires. That's just how it is, Justin. So it's going to be interesting to see how they can survive with just a little bit of that contact, because we already seen it. One of them actually jumped up and almost went over the concrete barrier. That's something that I haven't seen in a long time here on iRacing.
Drivers have just had the track state updated for the next part of the session. So for the race, it'll be lower than earlier. It was 20% at the start of last feature. It's down to 13%. So a lot of drivers are reporting the track is very slick for the upcoming feature. That's why they've rolled it back to reduce a bit of the slick and then build it up as the drivers find the moisture and others make the track really rubbered in, so to speak, for this feature. We're about to find out how they line up for the feature race, though. Most of the order crossing over from the previous heat race moments ago. So let's take a look at how they'll start as they've now crossed over into the main session. Jake Silvia, Bradley Cox, top 2 drivers qualifying, about a 10th the difference between them. Tyler Moore in 3rd, then Deegan Smith originally was amongst the top 4 from the last heat. Instead, he'll have to start 7th. That moves up Jake Grout as the winner for the heat race with Grant Brown and Waylon Robinson, your top 6.
Absolutely. Deegan Smith, you just mentioned him right there just a second ago. He's going to start 7th with Alex Rupert. Going to be starting in 8th. How about Dylan Calabro? He's going to have a long climb right here on this 2/10 of a mile. He's going to start in the 9th position. Right behind him is going to be, right beside of him actually is going to be Kyle Adams. We talked to Kyle a while ago. He's just trying to survive, Justin, with this crazy track and car combination. And then right behind him, Bradley Stefan, the 11 drivers out here at the Chili Bowl here with these wingless sprint cars on Podium Esports.
So we already talked about Bradley Cox, the youngster who's done very well in the real life here. He's expected to be a favorite, but you also throw drivers like Silvia into the mix. With this racetrack a little bit hotter than earlier, you're key to win this feature.
Like I said, I mean, it's basically the same 3, honestly. It's going to be try to survive, don't jump the cushion, and watch out for that tire banging. Not the door banging, but the tire banging, Justin.
Green flag is out. Silvia on the loud pedal. We're underway for the feature. Bradley Cox already riding the berm. He tries to go alongside Silvia. Silvia forced to run the cushion. Can Bradley Cox get it to work short side by side for the race lead? Already Bradley Cox to the point, but he hits the berm. Silvia able to get the run back on the outside. Cox now fully takes it.
And then Tyler Mueller, I mean, he was up there big time, right behind all the leaders there for a second. Actually, it looked like he was going to drop back to the 7th spot, but he's going to settle right in that 4th spot. Jake Grout, he's up here sitting in 3rd with Silvia. In 2nd, Bradley Cox still got the lead. And right now, Justin, he looks like he may be the dominant car in that number 45. He's looking like he's trying to pull away. A little bit of battling back here as well with Rupert and Robinson. But up front, Cox still got the lead. As up front, Silvia, he slips just a little bit almost into ground.
Rupert having some problems. He's inside the pace truck, it looks like. We keep racing as he's now out. We're down to 9 drivers left. Looking at the battle for 3rd. Grout getting a little bit touchy. That's Tyler Mueller. 8 in sim, 1 on the racetrack, going back and forth with him. Back towards the inside. Grout preferring the middle line.
Yeah, Grout is trying to see if he can run the middle line. It's like I said, don't want to get up there, jump the cushion, get up into the fence. And both of them, they've actually been flirting with it just a little bit. Justin, wow, Grout actually gets down onto the berm. Mueller had to get out of the gas, almost ran him over. Here comes Grant Brown. He's going to have a shot right here. He was actually in the heat. Actually, he just spun it out. So caution on the speedway for Grant Brown. Spin it out coming off of turn 4.
Caution flag is out. Tempers are already flaring. It's the Patriot Marketing Services machine spun. It was offset 3 wide on the exit as tempers flare over the radio.
Yeah, I'm sure Grant, he was probably just a little bit ticked off about that one right there, Justin. I mean, he ran him down. Sylvia ended up hitting the berm, and then Grant had to get out of the gas. That just offered the opportunity for Grant Brown, rather, to get up here in behind him. And I think Grant probably may have come down just a little bit too much. I mean, that was the run. I mean, that was the line that he was usually running, Justin. Like he just came down, kind of chopped the nose off, if you will, off of Grant Brown. Ended up sending him in for a spin cycle. So it's like he said, it's like I was saying a while ago, 0.2 of a mile. Sooner or later, these guys is going to end up running into each other sooner or later, Justin. So we'll see how that pans out with Grant. He's actually back in the 9th position, so he's got a little bit of a climb to try to get back up here.
Well, penalty as well to Mueller, so he'll start towards the tail of the field here. All set to get back underway. Caution laps do not count. Remember, already contact mid-pack. But Bradley Cox looking fine. Jake Grout nearly spins himself, but he hits Silvia into the wall, and everybody else joins in. Caution flag is out as a good 2/3 of the field crashes from the battle from 2nd.
Damn near the whole field ends up getting piled up. We're checking out right on this replay. There you see Cox right there in the 45 on the bottom. There's Silvia up top. Bam! I mean, you just got straight up tire banged once again by Grout. And then everybody ends up piling in right there. Absolutely nowhere for them to go. Even one that was way back there in the back ended up trying to get on the brakes. But we've already seen drivers try to get on the brakes, Justin. When they try to lock the brakes up, it just ends up spinning the whole car out. So usually that kind of, I mean, that's going to happen, like I said, on a 0.2 of a mile racetrack. One guy gets up in there into the wall, and he's stopped in the middle of the track. Usually all hell ends up breaking loose, and everybody's just along for the ride, just trying to find a way around it.
So with that caution sequence building up here, everyone going single file this time. Cox, Grout, Calbro, Brown, Robinson, now much your top 5 of the racetrack. See how they go on this restart. For the green flag, back underway, and they're nearly wrecking for 3rd. Moving out of the way, Brown. Calbro nearly got uprooted by the pink and black machine. 71 rides the cushion in the battle for 3rd. Clear is Grant Brown.
Grant Brown is trying to get back up here where Jake Grout is. May end up seeing a little bit of beef between both of these guys, but Brown able to get through that nasty wreck that just came out just not so many laps ago. Brown able to get around Calabro, and Grant Brown is really starting to get very, very hungry, trying to get up there with Jake Grout. There you see back there Jake Silvia. He's trying to work over Tyler Mueller, and he's actually going to ease past Tyler Mueller. Now he's going to set his sights past Deegan Smith. He's going for Dylan Calabro. He's trying to get to that 4th spot.
Looking to get a recovery drive going, so to speak. He showed solid pace before. After all, he's the namesake for this second half of tonight's event. Already using the middle line, starting a fair amount of slick built up actually around that middle of the racetrack. This time he goes cushion.
I'm telling you right now, I mean, we just saw it just a second ago with Deegan Smith. We actually got a caution on the speedway. Actually, it's back there. I believe it was in the back. So caution on the speedway. But I'm telling you, it's like you talked about with the slick stuff. Everybody is just driving the hell out of these cars, Justin, just trying to be able to drive them, keep them straight through this slick stuff.
Believe the caution may have been Adams, and Adams was the only driver around the time of the caution flag who was about at least sideways. Easy to do.
Yeah, very, very easy to do. I mean, we just mentioned it just a second ago with the slick stuff, trying to keep them straight. I mean, if we could get a camera angle with one of these guys going through the slick stuff, it's going to be absolutely crazy to see how they are driving them right there. Check it out right there. Dylan Calabro going through the slick stuff. Look at the wheel, folks. He is wheeling that damn thing, just trying to keep it straight, getting up into the fence, seeing action all the way around him, getting tire banged all the way around. Hell of a ride right there for Dylan Calabro.
And all the way to the very back goes the 71. Tyler Moore also uprooting past Calabro. Kyle Adams now shuffled to the very back. Jake Silvia still back here as well in the 6th position. Already the gap half a track. That's how small this circuit is from the front of the field, and everybody rides the wall. We're still green as Tyler Moore is upside down in the heart of the field. Caution flag is out, and there's the tow.
Wow, Tyler Mueller ends up taking one hell of a ride right here, folks. This right here, honestly, if you got some small kids at home, you might want to go ahead and just make them step away from the camera just for just a quick second, because Tyler Mueller takes a hell of a ride right here. You'll see it. I mean, Tyler, he tries to get it straight, bam, goes all the way up into the wall. Calabro was maybe trying to pull a little bit of a slider, I guess you could say, and get up in front of him. And then Tyler, he just ran out of real estate, honestly, Justin. Ran out of real estate, went all the way up to the wall. And that's one of those things I was talking about. Don't jump the cushion. But at that point, there was no cushion. There was just wall. And Tyler Mueller goes end over end.
Tempers flare yet again at the halfway point. Bradley Cox continuing to lead. He's led just about this entire event. He still holds on in front of Jake Grout now. Run the bottom of the racetrack. Right now, spreading around the racetrack, everybody else. Multiple lanes across the mid-pack. Most comfortable lane still the bottom, but now it's stack-up time as drivers try to make passes, including Kyle Adams.
Yeah, and there you see, actually, I mean, it is getting a little bit slick. Here we go. Grout tries to pull the block on Brown. Brown tried to take a shot down on the bottom side. Right behind him, Deegan Smith. He is trying to work over both these guys. Maybe both of them will get caught up in a wreck, and Deegan Smith will be able to ease right by and take the second spot. He's actually having to hit the brake, Justin, because both these guys, Grout and Brown, both of them are racing so hard for that second spot that right now Bradley Cox, he's got this sucker on cruise control. He's starting to check out, riding on board with Grant Brown, right behind Jake Grout. He is trying to get there, but like I said, Deegan Smith and even Waylon Robinson up here joining this battle as well for the second spot.
Right now, Grout still playing very strong defense, allowing Cox to run away by nearly half a racetrack already. That's how big the gap's built up as you look from Deegan Smith. The leader's gone. The leader is bye-bye gone.
Yeah, I mean, he can more or less put that beer money already in the bank unless something catastrophic happens right now, Justin. Bradley Cox is going to be able to buy a whole 30-pack when this sucker is all said and done. Jake Grout is holding up Grant Brown and Deegan Smith, and even Jake Silvia now, he's got around Waylon Robinson. So bump up Jake Silvia up to that fifth spot rather. But right now, there you see Bradley Cox. I mean, he is gone. Grout still holding up Grant Brown and Deegan Smith.
Still keeping an eye on how Smith plays this. Commentary warning for Jake Grout as the rest of the field continues with under 10 laps to go. Grout still on the high side. Now there's the slider. Smith not able to get alongside fully to make a move yet. Still good defense from Grant Brown. Grant Brown still can't figure out a way around Grout.
He is trying his damnedest right now, Justin. But, I mean, there we see it. I mean, it is starting to get slick on the bottom. Here comes Deegan Smith. He has enough of the slick stuff. He's going to try to send it, maybe even try to pull the slider, jump up in front of him. Maybe, maybe not. He may end up going for a twofer right here as, wow, Grant Brown, he's going to go back to fourth. Deegan Smith up to third. He wants one more spot better and get up here around Jake Grout. He almost made it work. I mean, I'm telling you, Deegan Smith drive of a lifetime from 7th, trying to go for that second spot, but Grant trying to pull defense and jump down in front of him.
He was a leader with the wing sprint for the feature, or rather for the heat race before, spinning around from center race lead, trying to at least get a top 2 here, still not able to pass on by. For those wondering, where's our race leader? Our race leader has lapped nearly the entire field. Bradley Cox is amazing here.
Yeah, I mean, he's done a fantastic job all the way through this event right here. I mean, Bradley Cox. I mean, what else can you say about Bradley Cox? You talked about him just a second ago. He's looking fantastic. It's like I said, that fair money going straight to the bank right here after this.
White flag already out on the racetrack. Final time around, Bradley Cox has again outright dominated everybody. He laps nearly the whole field on the way to becoming $80 richer here at the Chili Bowl.
And that's even more beer money right there, honestly, Justin. He's gonna, I mean, I would take it all the way to the bank, so congratulations. Bradley Cox ends up getting the win. Deacon Smith and Jake Grout. That is the podium finishers here at the Chili Bowl.
Let's take a quick break. When we come back, post-race coverage. You're watching Podium Esports here from Oklahoma.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Post-race coverage now underway for the Jake Silvia Racing Shootout here for the Misfit Dirt Tour. Bradley Cox wins both races on the day. $80 going the way of car 45. Deacon Smith nearly finished a full lap back in second. Jake Crown and Grant Brown the only others on the lead lap. That's how quick the rear-wheel racer from the Tulsa Shootout did here today. Weldon Robinson, Jake Silvia, Kyle Adams a lap down, Calbro 2 down. Your DNFs were Moore and Rupert. Bradley Stefane did not start the feature after a nightmarish heat race. So already, driver standing on by. That was a quick break from speaking with you before. How about nearly lapping the whole field?
Man, the car felt really good. I love this track. I've ran so many laps on here in real life, and just on here, just a lot of practice. And this track's just one of my favorite tracks. But yeah, I was happy to see that thing go almost green to checkered there once we got past lap 20.
So I'll ask a serious question here. If it went fully green, would you have been able to lap the field once, twice, or 3 times?
I don't know. Maybe up to second place, but that'd be challenging.
I mean, you already lapped up to 4th, but the checker flag in the span of about 20 laps. But that being considered here, the Misfit Dirt Tour, of course, getting ready for it to become its series, so to speak. Are you going to be amongst those drivers running in the Misfit Dirt Tour full-time when it gets underway soon?
I'll have to see about it because I race a lot in real life, so I have to see if that goes around my shuttle for real life. But if I can make it, yeah, I'll be there.
Anyone you want to give a shuttle to this time?
Yeah, I want to thank Jake and everybody else broadcasting and putting this race up. I want to thank Redline Performance Roofing, Insane Graphics, Hathaway Performance, CP Pistons, all my family for all their help, and my grandpa for all the work he puts in for me in real life. And I want to thank God for giving me the opportunity to do this.
Well, congratulations once again on the win, Bradley.
Thank you.
The youngster Bradley Cox getting the victory by almost a full lap. Deegan Smith was amongst those who finished on the lead lap. You can count that number on one hand. He's with Jacob.
Yes, sir. Deegan Smith up here in the booth. Deegan, I'm telling you, I mean, fantastic drive right there for that second spot. You and Jake Grout, I mean, y'all were battling it out for that second spot. I mean, what was it going to take to be able to get up there and get a hold of Bradley Cox, or was he just that fast here tonight?
No, he was just on another rails. That's all I can say.
It's pretty simple with Deegan. Tell folks about this right here, because we saw a lot of drivers. Literally driving the hell out of these cars, just trying to be able to keep them straight, trying to hold it, where they could. We even seen a couple of them actually flip up into the wall. We saw Dylan Calabro do it earlier. This 0.2 of a mile track. I mean, it's the mecca of sprint car racing, or wingless or micro sprint car racing rather. But just give everybody a feel for how fast this place really is.
Oh, it's crazy. You have no time to react to anything. It's so tight. Everything happens so fast. These cars, just to add on to it, they're hard to control, the non-wing ones. So you're fighting the whole race.
Absolutely. It looked like it when Deegan Smith comes home second. And Deegan, before we let you go, have you got anybody that you want to thank that made this possible?
Fusion Setup Shop and Victory Fuel. And you guys for putting this on.
Deegan Smith getting that second place finish. Deegan, appreciate your time. And we're going to go ahead and, Justin, I believe you're standing by with the third place finisher, Mr. Jake Grout.
Yes, indeed. Grubbot standing on by. You had an intense battle for that second spot. What was your perspective in that side-by-side racing with the 15?
It was just close racing. No lane really had a advantage, and we had, iRacing kind of do its thing and netcode, but it was all in all a fun race, fun battling with him and Grant, so I can't complain. I'll take a P3 all day long.
What's your previous experience like when it came to the dirt side, and in turn, how do you feel that played out in terms of racing with the micro sprints, one of the newest cars on the platform?
I just started actively racing dirt like a month ago. I mainly run asphalt, so when this car came out, I started just putting in a lot of laps and try to learn it. And I think if I wouldn't have ran laps before this race came on, I would have probably been lapped multiple times.
So we already asked this question to Bradley Cox. He has, of course, real-world commitments, including racing in this facility in real life. So what's your commitments like for the the series once it gets underway for the full slate?
I hope to run full-time, but the real schedule, I think I'll be at 40-plus races this year, just crewing and helping out. So I don't know how many of them I'll be able to be at, but I'm definitely going to try my best.
Any thanks you want to give here for today?
Yeah, I got to thank you guys for broadcasting it, Misfits Racing League, Jake Silvia Racing, White's Heating, AW Clark Builders, Fusion Setup Shop, Jones Utilities, and I think that's it.
Once again, thank you very much for the time, Jake.
Yeah, thank you.
Jake Kraut rounding out your top three. Bradley Cox, Deegan Smith. Jake Kraut, like to thank them for speaking to us here on Podium Esports. Today was an interesting one. A very quick second half of the event here today, but Bradley Cox made it clear he knows this track like the back of his hand.
Yeah, Justin, he straight up took him to the woodshed. Honestly, that's really what it was. There you saw it. 9 seconds over Deegan Smith, and these guys were running 10 seconds a lap. So, Bradley Cox able to go get him some root beer after this right here, $80 worth out of this. So congratulations to Bradley Cox, be able to get the win. And that's how you do it right there. If you're going to win, go ahead and take him to the woodshed. Do it in style. And Bradley was able to do it twice here today, get him $80 richer.
So a dominant run for Bradley Cox, and it just so happens that about a week's time, Misfit Racing League will also be holding a special event on the pavement side. They'll be hosting the Spring Classic for their racing series. A 4 p.m. start on March the 23rd. It'll be the late models at South Boston Speedway, and that should be a fun one for the recreation of the Spring Classic.
Yeah, that's going to be a fantastic race right there with the late models, like you said, South Boston. Always good to see them late models run at South Boston, hell, anywhere that they so choose to run. But South Boston, obviously, a very, very historic track, obviously, with the Burton brothers, Warburton, Jeff Burton. It's going to be a blast. Obviously, they had a little bit of beef back in the day, Justin. You know about that, where they end up getting run into one another. So we may end up seeing some more of that. Only time will tell.
$50 for the winner of that race, free entry for those who want to take part. With that being considered, we'd like to thank you for taking part and for watching along with today's racing action here on Bloody Me Sports. For my co-announcer Jacob Rees, for our producer and Ryan Bauer, I'm Justin Prince saying so long. Enjoy the rest of your day or evening. You've been watching coverage of the Misfit Dirt Tour, and it's Jake Silvia Racing Shootout. Congratulations to Bradley Cox. He sweeps the day from Tulsa.